All right. So I think we're live. Does it show me on the screen? All right. Yeah. All right. Good. So we're live. Great. All right. So I've got the whole family here. We got the boys in the back. Wife's up front to assist. So we are going to have some fun. So we thought after driving around a lot yesterday, it would be maybe helpful if we went ahead and did a live stream of driving with the full self-driving subscription model, but more so because we don't have a radar in this car. So there are some things that seem to be a little different and some things that you need to know about if you do get full self-driving subscription. So first and foremost, let me turn this around. Navigate on Autopilot. I believe it works. This is the first time I've gotten it to show up. So what I found out is that you need to do a hard reset of the car, and now Navigate on Autopilot is working. So to do that, if you don't know, you just press these two buttons and hold them down for about 15 seconds or so. So once you do that and the whole system reboots, then you should be good to go. So what we're going to do unfortunately, this is not like a BTG road trip, but we are going to go to the service center here in Castleton, which is our local service center, and it does require us to get on the highway, which means we can check out Navigate on Autopilot. So we are going to do that, and we are going to see how this works out for us. So let's get moving and give you guys an idea of how we're looking. Now we do have some construction here, so I'm gonna have to get us closer to the highway before I can engage Autopilot too much. But first thing that I noticed was that yesterday we went through a couple of yellow flashing lights yesterday, and on Autopilot with full self-driving, of course, it recognizes stoplights and stop signs, which is a great thing, and it worked really well. However, what doesn't work so well is when you're going through a flashing yellow, and it's going to scare the bejesus out of you. So what happened is it thinks it's a light turning red. It gives you the option to push down on the stalk to go through as if it were a green light. However, as soon as it flashes yellow again, it then abruptly tries to come to a stop, and it's really sketch. So what I learned is when you are going through a yellow flashing light, you need to override full self-driving, at least for now. I don't know if the beta is doing it any better, but yellow flashing lights are not the friend of the car. So anyways, I am going to be close to the highway here shortly, and the whole intent of this video is to give you an idea of what to expect with full self-driving subscription in a radarless car. So hopefully we can accomplish that today. We are driving about 25 or so miles round trip, so won't be too long of a live stream, but I thought, hey, that'll be fun. So let's see here. Navigate on Autopilot is on and clear. Let's flip the camera around and we can do Autopilot right here. Roundabouts, no problem. We've got plenty of those around here. So let's see. Let's put Autopilot on. And as you can see with these new cars, it automatically turns your auto brights on. And Autopilot is kind of a little bit better if you can't see the screen there. Let's try to do it this way. There we go. So as you'll see up here, there's a turn lane coming up, and watch the lines as they separate. Not so much there, but what's happening is generally with basic Autopilot, what happens, this car wants to center between that big opening, and it seems like anyways with full self-driving subscription that it seems to be working better. It's not pulling over to the right quite as bad as it usually does on standard Autopilot. So I'm hoping that that's not just a fluke and that that is indeed the case. But we are getting ready to come up to a stoplight, so you'll get to see what this is like here in just a moment, which is pretty cool. You can you read some of the comments as we're going? I saw a HEPA filter. This does not have the biodefense mode, so no HEPA filter in this. But see, it's saying stopping for traffic control, and I do need to turn right, and it's not going to let us, so I have to override that, unfortunately. So it did not get in the right lane here, but it is coming to a stop. So wait for traffic to clear up. There we go, green light. All right, and there should be a couple of stoplights here before we get on the highway, so I can show you the full effect of coming to a stop and then telling the car when it's ready to go. Coming up here.
Do you think this is worth the money if you don't do long trips?
No, not worth the money if you don't do long trips. And the reason why is, as you can see in that last intersection, I was not able to have the car turn right, and it's because it will not do it on its own in city streets. So that's why this is probably not worth it if like you're in Chicago or something like that where you're mostly in the city. Highway does need to be a part of the equation. So now it's going to see up here that there's a light, and as long as there's a car in front of me moving and it's green, it's going to let us go. However, if that car in front of us was not there, it would have made us confirm before we went through that intersection, which is something that's definitely interesting. And but as you can see, I mean, it's coming to a stop. It does a decent job. It's not too jerky. It's maybe a little bit on the firm side, getting closer to where it's trying to stop. But again, also keep in mind, I have to keep 3 car length. That's the maximum distance I can keep without having radar on the car. So hopefully that gets opened up here very soon. But the highway is right up here, a couple of intersections away, and as you see, the car's taking off on its own. I didn't have to do anything, which is pretty cool. So one more traffic light here, and then we'll be off to the highway. And I'll show you this auto lane change and all that stuff, which is a lot of fun and where all the value, in my opinion, is. So whenever you're going through these intersections, just be prepared to hit the stock here just in case the car decides last minute it doesn't want to just go through. But here we go, coming up on the highway. I don't think it's going to move lanes. Doesn't look like it. So nope. Yeah. So until you get on the highway, it's not going to pick the right lane, which is one of those areas that's a little bit frustrating. All right. Now, accelerate onto the highway. Act like you're in a Prius so you don't accelerate too fast. And then merge over. Okay, so let's hit Autopilot now, and I'll show you some of these lane change features. 75 is good with me. All right, so now you can see everything has changed. Now, when you see this direct line like this, this is true full self-driving, or all these autonomous features are actually happening. When you see the 2 lines on the sides, that means it's not going to pick lanes or anything like that. So I'm going to let the car kind of figure out what lane it wants to be in for just a little bit. And if I bump up the speed, let's see if it prompts me to want to pass this guy in front of us. So let's see. It's not really wanting to do that. So I'm going to have to do this on my own, which is fine. So all you have to do, I'm going to wait till this Camaro passes, and then I'm going to turn the signal on. So here we go. Turning the signal on, it can see that there's a car there. I'm not doing anything. It's looking for the open lane, and there it is. Nice, smooth transition, and it turned off the signal automatically. But what's really nice is it makes that a really smooth transition over to the other lane. Not jerky or anything, and it's very confident when it does it, so that's nice.
So there's a couple comments about enhanced autopilot, and is this just enhanced autopilot or is it full self-driving?
It's a very good question. Full self-driving is not widely available, so it's only on beta. So what I am doing right now is what you would in enhanced autopilot. Everything you're looking at right now is what Enhanced Autopilot is. Enhanced Autopilot was released for 2 weeks. I believe it was in September, and it was $4,000. And I kick myself every day for not doing it because all I really want is navigate on autopilot and automatic lane changes, just for road trip purposes. So full self-driving includes auto steer and navigate on autopilot on city streets, which, as you saw before we got on the highway, this car is not capable of doing that. So, but this is everything that's possibly available is included in the subscription model. Everything above and beyond anything that would be an Enhanced Autopilot.
Do you think they may release Enhanced Autopilot subscription for $99?
I personally think that they are going to expand the ability to subscribe to different things once they see the results of the revenue. The thing is, when you buy $10,000 full self-driving, they can't recognize that $10,000 right away from an accounting principle standpoint. When you subscribe, they can realize 100% of those benefits. And the reason is because full self-driving is not here yet, not completely. So that $10,000, you're not getting everything yet. So I think that they're going to have a huge boost on a monthly basis for these subscription models. And I think, and I hope, I guess I should say, that they're going to expand that to other features like opening up Enhanced Autopilot for maybe half the price of what we're doing right now.
How do you get to be a part of the beta program? Can you get that by joining this subscription?
So to get to be a part of the beta program, you have to be invited. So you have to be a part of the early release program or early access program, which means I don't know how you get on that list exactly. However, you have to be on that list, and then Tesla will decide if they want to invite you. The last round, when they expanded it, they more than doubled the size of the beta program. And my understanding is, after they had a list of people, they reviewed your driving habits per the car, which is pretty incredible, and then decided who were the safe people to expand this out to. So that's how that works. So as you can see, it's still navigating on autopilot. It sees in 3.5 miles. We are going to have to merge, and that's to get off the interstate. I am not going to do anything to the car. I'm not going to make it change lanes or anything. So here in about 3 miles, we're going to see how well this thing starts moving lanes, because it should be able to do that. So there you go. Upcoming lane change, tap to cancel so you can override it, but I'm not going to. Let's see how this baby works in action. And we need to get over, I think, 3 lanes, 3 total lanes, something like that. So we got to get over a few lanes. So this will be a good test. Confirm lane change. So it's asking me to confirm, so I'm going to confirm it. Now that's a setting that I have on. I don't have it doing this by itself. I make it confirm with me before switching lanes. And I do that because I've heard feedback from people that it can be kind of scary. Sometimes it changes lanes erratically on its own. So you want to set it up so that you have to confirm.
And there's some settings about when it prompts you to change lanes.
Yep.
Just how far in advance you would change lanes.
Yep.
All of that.
All of that. When we get to the service center, I will pull up the list, and there you go. It's asking me to confirm, and it's not going to because there's a car coming up on us, but that's okay. When we get to the service center here shortly, in about 6 minutes, I will pull up the list of settings so that you can see what all has to be done. So keeping the turn signal on, and that person's backing off. Thank you for letting us over. All you LA folks are probably astounded that somebody let me over. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. All right.
We got the subscription.
We got the subscription, yes. I am not a buyer at $10,000. I wasn't a buyer at $7,000, and I'm certainly not at $10,000. Personal preference. But if full self-driving went with you rather than the car, then it would be worth it. It's something you could keep with you. But a subscription model is a beautiful thing, because for $200 a month, I can subscribe to this, and then if we're going to go on a long period of time where we're not driving much or on the highway, I can completely cancel this, and I don't have to pay that $200. So don't think of it like over, I think it's 4 years, 2 weeks, and 0 days, or 420, that full self-driving, paying 10 grand would be a better bet. But over 4 years, 2 weeks, and 0 days, you can just subscribe on a month-to-month basis only when you need it. So you can actually save quite a bit of money. So if you do a lot of your driving in the summertime, that's when you want to add it. So, but it's still $200. So it's completely up to you on if it's something you want to do or not. All right, so like I said, I've had to confirm all those lane changes. This is the exit coming up, so we'll see how good or bad this experience is. Car is starting to slow down, which is good. And it's saying that navigate on autopilot is ending in 200 feet, and I'm glad it's letting me know that. So now, see, now it went back to standard autopilot. So what that means is I just canceled the lane assist, but I kept the cruise portion of it on. And the reason is when we come around this corner here, it's going to stop at this light for me. So here we go. I hope that you guys can see everything okay. But stopping for traffic control in 300 feet.
How much is full self-driving if you have EAP?
And we have a green light, so I'm just going to confirm by pressing down on the toggle, and it's going to go. What was the question?
Oh, how much is full self-driving if you have EAP?
Full self-driving is an additional $5,000, or if you want to subscribe, it's $99 a month. So my hand is right here on the stock, as you can see. I've had this thing stop on me randomly a couple of times, like it just wanted to for that train. And here's a red light, so I'll let it come to a complete stop, and there's nobody in front of me, so I believe I'm going to have to confirm when it's clear to go. So we'll check this out together. So it's just going to sit here. Now it's green, so I do need to hit the stock, let it know that I'm ready to go. But pretty simple, not a big deal. There's nobody in front of me, so I may have to confirm. Yep, it's asking me to confirm. You'll see that line went from red to green once I confirmed, even though it was a green light. So it can tell it's a green light, but until full self-driving is widely released, it's going to do this every time. Now this case, I confirmed it, but the light turned yellow and it just overrode me. So it stopped. And that's actually a really good feature. I think it does a good job with that.
You need to repeat the questions I asked. I can't hear it.
Okay, I'll repeat the question.
So is there a different subscription options? I'm going to have to research this. Are you using subscription advanced auto, but not full self-driving? That was one of the questions.
Okay, so the question was around, you're confused about which subscription model I'm doing. The good thing is you only have one option. If you have basic autopilot, your only option is $199 for full self-driving. If you have enhanced autopilot, it's $99 for full self-driving. It's the same subscription, it's just the baseline from where you're starting. So there you go. I tapped to confirm the light's green and we're off.
One person said it's just $10 a day if you're working 5 days a week. You just need to give up Starbucks run every day. I don't think
my wife would agree with that. All right, so look, even on city streets, it does do automatic lane changes, which is nice. And this guy's gonna stop right in front of us. Sorry about that, everybody. All right.
There are times at stoplights when the light is green. If I tap the accelerator, it overrides it. Does this happen to you?
Yes. All you have to do is either tap the toggle or tap the accelerator, and then that's confirming, hey, it's green. So I just turned autopilot off completely because now we are done with that kind of driving. We're here at the mall parking lot, basically. So we will be at the service center here in just a few moments.
Can you try taking a nap and see if you make it home okay?
Can I try taking a nap and see if I make it home okay? The answer is absolutely not. Absolutely
Can
not.
we go to Ikea on the way home?
Can we go to Ikea on the way home? Is that one of your friends?
No.
I feel like we've been infiltrated.
Evil Pop-Tart.
Evil Pop-Tart?
That's who said it.
Okay. Is that your friend?
No.
Did you coax them into joining our live stream?
Have you tried Summon?
I have tried Summon. I was excited to show off the car to my dad last night when they stopped by. And I thought I was pretty slick because I had it leave the driveway and pull up in front of me, in front of my neighbor's house. It was fun until I tried to bring it back to the driveway and it drove into the yard. So that's 50-50 though, and for Summon, I think that's pretty good. It's obviously there are some issues there. It's not major, but apparently Summon is going to be like really good in one of these updates. I think it's version 10 that Elon Musk was claiming it's going to be next world stuff. And here we are. We're home where all these beautiful cars are. Wow, they've got quite a few cars now. This lot has been empty all month, ever since the end of the quarter. This guy's got some pretty slick aero wheel covers on his Model S. That's pretty cool. Purdue license plates, boiler up. I'm gonna pull over here and get the sun glare out of their vision. Just whip it around. And I will show you guys all the settings. I'm gonna park next to all the new cars that just arrived. All right. I'm gonna park right in the middle of 2 lanes. Look at that. I'm that guy right now. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Let me put it in park. Yes. Is there a question?
There's a bunch of questions.
There's a bunch of questions. Okay. All right, let's go into Autopilot. We will try to catch up with all these questions. So I gave you guys a snapshot the day this released, but hopefully you guys can see the screen okay. But here's all your options. Now navigate on Autopilot so you can customize these settings. I have it enabled every trip, so as long as Navigate on Autopilot is available, it's automatically going to start doing that unless you press it to turn it from blue to gray. And that's how I prefer it to be set. It's only going to navigate on Autopilot if it's capable of doing that. And for right now, that means highways have to be a part of your route. Speed-based lane changes, so we can mess with that. Mad Max, that's kind of fun, so that's probably gonna whip you around pretty quick. Exit passing lane, yes. Require lane change confirmation. I have that on yes. Now, if I turn that to no, then you can have lane change notification. So instead of asking me to confirm, you can have it chime, vibrate, or do both. So you would definitely want to have these notifications on. But for me, I prefer to leave confirmation up to me, just to make it more comfortable. You can also turn off this traffic light and stop sign control. However, it's really good, and I'm actually really liking it a lot. It's actually works extremely well. You do have to pay attention, so you can confirm when it wants to stop and it's a green light. I have a green light traffic light chime turned on as well, so when we're sitting at a stoplight, it does give me a chime when it turns green, even when I don't have Autopilot on, which is cool. Obviously visualization, summon. There are a couple of things that you can do with that, but nothing too crazy here to talk about. Let's see here. Oops. Speed limit, forward collision, that's all standard stuff. And then all of this is all the same. So there was an update just a week or two ago that emergency lane departure avoidance has been turned back on, and you can also do 80 miles an hour now. And this is in reference to cars without radar, just as an FYI. Means that Mad Max means it notifies you to change lanes if it detects somebody ahead of you going slower, long before you have to slow down behind them. Well, there you go. Thanks for the clarification on that one. Do you guys want to go look at what they have at the lot? I usually like to walk around here and see what's been delivered. Let's go take a look. Leave the air on for the wife. Let's see. Go around here. Good. All right, we're all set. Should be comfortable in there. All right, let's see. Nice performance Model 3 sitting here. I don't know if these are recent deliveries though. These look like customer cars. We had some crazy hail not that long ago. You can see this one got beat up pretty good. What was really interesting is my dad works for a big auto company here in town, and he said it was fun because they were able to see across their lots the quality of the build on a lot of the cars. So like, you know, comparing Hyundais to Mercedes and things like that. And the cars that were totaled were what you would probably expect. So it was interesting. But here's a used Model 3, and you can see on this car, when people say don't go through the car wash, I don't know if you can see this very well. This is what they're talking about. So this car has swirls all over it. And this is why I put ceramic coat on my car. Obviously I have PPF as well, but this car has absolutely been through a lot of car washes in its life. But that's why you put PPF and or at least ceramic coat if you don't want to hand wash it every time. It's a nice blue on white. This is a good color combination. I really like blue on white. Nice. Somebody's going to be taking delivery of this one very soon. I don't see any new headlights yet. Oh, look, check that out. These guys snatch them all up, but it looks like somebody busted the glass on it. That's unfortunate. Look at that. I don't know why people do that. People just don't care, I guess. Anyways, that's about all the new deliveries. Let's see what these Model 3s are. Couple of black on white, always a good color combo, but that's chrome. These are probably customer cars. I don't want to look at those. Don't want to show y'all customers' cars. And that's it. I don't really see any other recent deliveries. That Model Y, let's go look at the, see if we can tell a VIN real quick. Still has the same headlights. The performance model and the Model 3s are the only ones that have that new headlight. This one's not been built in the last month based on the VIN number. All right. Let's see if I can show you a Model 3 with the new headlights. See if they've got one here. Here you go. This performance one has it. I think they look really good. I really like these headlights. I wish I had them on mine, but projector headlight. And yeah, I think they, even when they're off, I think they have a nice look to them side by side for you. All right. And then there's this, oh my gosh, what a beautiful car. Oh, sorry, it's my car. All right. I missed all those questions.
PPF for bumper is a given, but is it worth the thousands of dollars to do everything else?
No, it's so much money to do PPF. That's why I'm a huge fan of DIY PPF. So we actually just partnered with Drive Protected Shop. He's a really good guy up in Canada, and he sells, let me turn the camera around, there you go. He sells expel kits. They're all pre-cuts, so you can get whatever pieces you want, anywhere from just the front bumper to the entire car. And I've been working with him. My plan is to do piece by piece, and that's going to help with the cost, but also with the work. His site is broken, and it's because an hour after we launched the video, we crashed his site, and it is completely kaput now. Unfortunately, I feel so awful about it, but he has to rebuild his entire site. But you can still order with him, and you can either contact him via phone or via email. But Expel is a very, it's not a cheap product. It's a very good product though, and it comes with a very good warranty. The 3M product that we had on the last car did really well. It held up great, and I'm glad I had it. That is still a very good option. Expel is obviously the biggest name in PPF from a quality perspective and all that. So we're gonna be moving all the way back through the car. Basically, I'm doing the doors next, and then I'll do the rear bumper, and then I'll do the lift kit, kind of like that. So, yes.
Do you find the white dash too reflective?
The white dash is too reflective. Let me see if I can show you. So, if you look at the window, I'm showing you the window. That right there, that reflection is a real problem, because let me put the car in reverse. When I'm backing into the garage, I'm using certain objects in the garage as a pinpoint of where to park it. And that white streak right there is hard to look through. So the good thing is, almost before I live streamed, I almost put the kit on, and I'm glad I didn't. I didn't want to spoil it, but I have a cover for this dash. It's going on. I went with a matte carbon fiber. It's not because it's carbon fiber. I think carbon fiber is okay, but it was pretty inexpensive, and it's going to get rid of that white piece. That's the only white piece I want to get rid of, but I am excited to cover that up to kill the reflection.
Would you not suggest going to a car wash then?
I mean, look, car washes. You do you. I hope if you have the luxury of time, hand wash your car. That's always a good fallback. That's what you should do. However, if you've got a busy family life, oh, Jack's asleep. Oh, poor guy. If you have a busy family life, it's really hard to have the time to hand wash it every week. So you're being silly, buddy. So I use the car wash, but what I do is I have PPF on and I ceramic coat the car, so that way I don't have scratches like that red one I just showed you. That's what those scratches are from. It's from going through an automatic car wash.
And you put ceramic coating on after PPF?
After PPF. PPF has to go first. If you put ceramic down, it will not adhere to the paint.
Do you have the 3D mats or the Tasmanian?
3D mats, baby. I love the 3D Max Spider floor mats. And Jerry from formytesla.com is where I get mine. And obviously I have a link. I'm sure it's in the description of this video too. I love those mats. They sent over a set for this new car, but so we only have the front and the second row. They just updated Jerry recently about the third row, so I think they're getting ready to launch that third row set. So I love my 3Ds and I can't recommend them enough. That said, the Tasmanian ones, those are really good mats too. Those two mats, you can't go wrong with either. I personally prefer the look of the 3D Max Spider, so hopefully that answers the question.
You talked about the third row. What about the trunk space?
Yeah, I don't know about the cargo space mat at this time. I don't think anybody's developed it yet.
Which carbon fiber dash cover did you go with?
I will have a link. I'll try to post a picture of it tonight when we get home. I'll put it on, and I'll post a picture and a link to it on Instagram and Twitter tonight, or at least Instagram.
Do you have issues with your backup camera being dark?
Let's see.
This person said unless the ambient light is good, it's pretty dark compared to other cars that they've had.
No, I don't really have that issue. I mean, you're getting a lot of sun glare right now on the screen, but I think that it's pretty good. Yeah, Mrs. BTG is awesome. She has come in clutch several times, including our last live stream, which was in California, where she had ordered us some surprise BTG logo shirts, which is really cool.
Are your sunglasses part of your branding?
I wish. If anybody knows anybody at Ray-Ban that wants to like connect and do a deal, I'd be so happy to set that up. Does she have a sister? She does have a sister. She lives in Houston now, right? Or Austin. She's in Austin, by Giga Austin. She just moved there. All right. Are we caught up?
Do Tesla cameras have night vision?
Yes, to some extent. To what extent, I don't know. I am of the opinion, and I don't know facts behind this, but the cameras in this car are more advanced than you think that they are. These are not standard lane keep cameras. I believe that, I don't want to put names out there of brands because I don't know for sure, but these cameras do a really good job of seeing through obstacles and weather and all that stuff. What are you doing, silly?
As you stated before, you can subscribe and cancel your subscription multiple times.
You can subscribe and cancel as many times as you want. So I subscribed the day it released, the 16th. I can cancel it right now and I'll still have the features until the end of the month. I won't get a refund or prorated anything. And then in December, say I want to add it again, I'll add it. And then in January, cancel it. And then in August, add it. You can do it as many times as you want. And there's no cost to cancel.
Are you planning on making a summon video anytime soon?
I have some ideas of a summon video. I want it to be helpful though, but it's just too easy to make comedy out of summon. So the nice thing for us though, summon's actually going to work well because the forward and reverse is really good. Smart summon is where there's kind of some funny stuff, but we park really tight in the garage. So when we're all getting in the car, it'd be nice to just let the car roll forward into the driveway before we all get in.
Have you ever had your AC freak out and go full blast for no reason in the
Never.
freeze?
I have never had AC issues. I know a lot of people had AC issues with like weird stuff. We've never, in both cars, we have not had that issue. What are my brake settings? Let's see. I mean, I have it on hold. I don't know. Are you talking about for autopilot brake settings? I don't know. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you like this center console better than the other one?
I love this center console. I know there was a lot of feelings about this. I really like the door. I think it's nice. It just feels more premium, even though it almost looked like it was going to be cheaper. I like it a lot. Now, you don't get obviously a cover here, and they don't give you a tray down here. I took this from the car we just sold. So you do have to get more accessories, which is everybody's favorite thing to do with a Tesla. But I really like it. And my 12 Pro Max does charge easily on this, and it fits just fine. So no charging issues, which is a nice improvement over the last car.
Is the low regen option back?
That's a good question, actually. They removed that shortly after. There is no option for regen anymore. Yeah, so you don't have an option.
Any recommendations on seat covers?
Seat covers, I just did a review on a really, really nice set of Napa seat covers, and actually somebody on the channel that follows on Instagram won those seat covers. She's in Kentucky, and I'm sure she's enjoying those right now, but they are really nice. They're also very pricey. They're like $5.99, but if you go with the cheaper option, the white will not match this white. The Napa that we got did match this white.
Has phantom braking gotten better?
No, not really. What do you think?
No.
No. Phantom braking's still there, and it's not much better.
If you had the chance to get the Model S Plaid, will you get it?
Why you gotta ask me when my wife's sitting here, putting me on the spot?
Did they say Model X Plaid?
Yeah.
Are you going to wrap your center console?
No wrap needed. Not gonna wrap it. I think it looks really good the way it is, and it doesn't scratch like that Pano Black stuff did. So should hold up really well and really nice. I'm happy with it. And even down here, I mean, I know it's little things, but I think it looks nice.
Do you have a screen protector on the touch screen?
Yes, I do. As you can see, it does. The matte can add a little bit of glare from time to time, but I prefer the matte. I think it's a little bit cleaner of a look when the sun's not blaring on it like it is at the moment. But this is a matte screen protector. I've had both clear and matte, and I prefer the matte personally. But it's personal preference. Some people just like the clear one.
Referring back to the seat covers that you were talking about, is it actual Napa leather?
That's a really good question. I don't know the actual answer to that question. I would hate to misrepresent, so I would have to look.
What do you think about the sound system of the Tesla?
The sound system in this car is fantastic, just like the last car. The one thing I've noticed about the new car is it's quieter. I know that my wife and I have different feelings about that, but it is definitely quieter in this car, which further enhances the audio experience of the sound system in this car. It's fantastic. It's one of the best sound systems of any car that I've had, so really good.
Question about ceramic coating. Is it really tricky to apply, and it's an all-day thing?
Ceramic coating is super easy to apply, and it's not an all-day thing. It does take days, but it's because it has to cure between layers. So it's not that it takes forever to do. It's actually really easy to do. What you want to do, though, is it's the pre-work that's hard. So you got to clean the car and get as much of the contaminants off the paint as you possibly can. And even better, clay bar the car if you can. If not, it's okay. Just make sure there's nothing visual. Apply that first coat, and 24 hours later you can apply the second coat, and then 24 hours later then you can apply the top coat. That's what takes the time. But it only takes like 15 or 20 minutes to ceramic coat the entire car for the first layer, second layer, and then that top coat.
So there's a couple of questions about accessories. One, someone had just ordered their new Model Y. It's coming shortly. They want to know what they should get. Let's see, what was the other question? I lost it.
Like what they should get? Like what are the must-haves?
Yes.
We have a must-have video, and some of the bigger items I still stand by. First and foremost, here's like if you ordered a car, there's a handful of items you got to order right away, right? Get the floor mats. I personally like the 3D Max Spiders. Get a center console tray, and now with the new car, you're going to need two of them. You're going to need one for the armrest area, and then one for that opening area. A screen protector, and then the rest of it is very dependent on your life situation. Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? Are you going to be putting a bike back there? Are you going to be, what all are you going to be doing with the car? And that's where you start to expand the list from there. So, but those are the, as soon as you order, just go ahead and order those and have them ready for when the car gets here. Hopefully that answers it.
Will you get the HEPA filter upgrade when it gets released?
I will get the bio weapon defense mode upgrade. I will actually show you guys. I'll open this car right now. Let me put the AC back on for you. All right, I will show you guys what's underneath the hood here. This is where you're gonna find out. So if you want to know for yourself, this cover right here, underneath here is where the filter would be. So let's just pop it off right now. Just open her up. Of course, this happens live. I can't get it open. There we go. So right there, I do not have a HEPA filter, and it's not just a HEPA filter that's missing. The entire inlet is actually bigger than what you see right here. So my car is a June build date, and it was July that it started. Now, I don't know if it was July 1st or if it was July 7th or what the actual date in July was, but they didn't start adding the HEPA filters until July builds. That much I do know. So that's how you can find out. And you saw, it's pretty easy to open this up, and it's just pressure clips. Push it all back down. Yeah. Yeah, PPF is still looking good. That's another thing I love about PPF. I'm not afraid of doing this. I'm not gonna scratch the paint. All right. Probably shouldn't have done that. Now my hands are dirty in this white interior. You have baby wipes? Nice. This is a life hack. Once you're a parent, you've always got baby wipes. See? Always prepared for messes. Thank you.
What you just mentioned the white leather. What's the best soap for cleaning and a power wash recommendation?
For the interior, it's just baby wipes, and work really well. And then you can use Dawn dish soap as well. Mild soap and detergent.
Tesla guy. Bearded Tesla guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Here.
Yeah.
You're from Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we were just we subscribed to Full Self Driving, and so we're taking people on a ride, see what it's like.
The $199 in
Yeah.
the advertising?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're just doing a live stream, just checking it out.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. What's your name?
Mark.
Everybody say hi to Mark. Mark's in a Model S, but he wants to get a Model Y, right?
Yes.
Yes. Or are you gonna get a Plaid?
Plaid.
There you go. He's a Plaid customer. Nice to meet you. Sorry. All right. Yeah, so baby wipes work really well, and it's super easy. Just buy a pack of baby wipes and keep it in the car. Done.
What about outside?
Outside?
Yeah, clean.
Okay. I have not done a cleaning video because there's so many of them, but Hydro makes really good products, and I'll probably do a video on that soon. But I use a foam cannon and get it nice and frothy, and it's a lot of fun to wash the car like that. And a power washer. We have very, very hard water here in Indiana, so water spots are a big issue, which is another reason why ceramic coat works really well. What? What?
You should put tomato juice in the frunk so you can tell people that you have a V8 under the hood.
Yeah. Put a V8 drink under the hood so I can tell people that I have a V8. Yeah. Tomato juice, V8. Should have had your vegetables. Yeah. That's clever.
Did you add soundproofing strip around the panoramic glass?
No, I have not added any soundproofing to this car. We added it on the last car, and I'm glad that we did. It did a really good job. I'm probably going to go ahead and add it on this car because other than just the soundproofing, it also added a weather layer. So on these doors, on a lot of higher end cars, let's see here. On a lot of these higher end cars, there's another layer of foam out on this side, and on the Tesla, it's just this one. This is sufficient. This is acceptable, but that other layer adds soundproofing. And what I found is on the last car, it also added weatherproofing. So the thresholds where you open the door didn't get quite as dirty as before. So it's only like 30 bucks. So we'll probably do it.
Did you do any paint correction before applying the PPF?
I did no paint correction. I took the car as is. I did clean it up. There were no major blemishes in this car, and it was acceptable to me.
You're going to tint the front windows.
Tint the front windows. They're not tinted yet. That I waited so long to do that on the last car, and I hate that I waited so long because I couldn't believe how much of a difference it really made, especially with like heat when you're driving. Not when you're parked. The car's going to get as hot as it's going to get, regardless of what tint you have. But when you're driving, tint is really good.
When are you going to put the Honcho Auto Frunk back in?
Very, very soon. I actually was able to take it off of the last car like 15 minutes before I sold it. It was a mad rush to get it taken off, and that's not an easy task in that short window of time. So
do you, I can't remember what the MSM over the white.
do I like midnight silver metallic
Yeah.
over white? You know what's funny? I have wanted this color combination so bad for so long, and it looks so good. But every time I see a white on black with the tinted windows, I kind of miss our white car.
But with white interior.
But with white interior, yeah. Yeah, I like them both for different reasons. Well, any other big questions?
What tint will you use?
I'll do 25% like I did last time. I believe we're supposed to do 35 here, but we have white interior, so it'll help lighten it up a little bit as well. But it just looks so much better when you match these rear windows. So that's what we're going with. We'll do a ceramic. I haven't chosen a brand or anything, but it has to be a ceramic anyways because of the antennas on the car.
When you get back on the road, get behind other cars so you're not the first one at the light. When
Yep.
the light turns green, they'll go, yours will accelerate.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna punch in our address. Don't look. We should get navigate on autopilot. Perfect. Actually, let me just do like a different address. Yeah, let's do that. Sorry guys, 1 second.
Terry recommended getting 20% on the front. The white seats really show through.
That's a good point. Terry, good to have you on the live stream. How you liking that front cooler? It's pretty awesome, isn't it? All right.
Are you noticing any noticeable range efficiency differences between the Model Y and your old one?
I have not really had a good chance to understand range differences and efficiency. I'm hoping we're going to be taking a road trip here very soon, and hopefully I'll know then. So real quick, I just punched in our destination. So navigate on autopilot. I have it set to automatically come on every trip. So it's blue. All you got to do is press that. Now it's not on, and then you can change your mind again. So that's why I like it. Just automatically be on, and we're ready to go. So I will answer these questions while we get moving. Keep it exciting. And also, go ahead and punch in the comments if there's anything while we're driving that you didn't see on the way down here that you want to make sure that I try to do while we're driving, and I will try my best to accommodate.
Why did we get a 7th row? People think we're having twins.
We're not having twins. We're not having kids. There's no more children coming to the BTG family, I promise. As some of you probably don't know or realize, my wife has, I have a really good job, a great career. My wife has an even bigger job, an even bigger career, and I'm super proud of her. But it's very hard to balance childcare and work and all of that stuff. So we actually are bringing an au pair into the home. And if you have children or are paying for childcare, you know how expensive it is. So it made financial sense to go down this path. So we needed space for another adult to sit in this car comfortably. So that's why we got the 7-passenger. Not because we're having kids.
No.
Definitely not having more kids.
Can you explain why ceramic tint is better for the antennas? I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, so I to be fair, I have not looked into the legitimacy of this claim, but I have heard from installers that you have to put ceramic on because the carbon tint will interfere with the signal of the car. It's the cell signal, not the radio signal. So I don't understand how that all works, but I'm taking their word for it. I've heard it at least 3 times from 3 installers.
Did you just run a stop sign?
I did not run a stop sign. It was yield on the left and stop on the right. I hope. I didn't run a stop sign, did I?
I wasn't.
Not on live, did I? I don't think we can edit that out.
No. Does your nanny have an Irish accent? It's not nanny, it's an au pair.
It's an au pair. She is from the Netherlands. We will not be asking her to be present on any of the videos to give her privacy, but we're so excited to invite her into the home. She speaks incredible English and has an education background, so we're really, really excited to give her the American culture experience that she's hoping for, and hopefully we can deliver on what she thinks it's going to be like. I think we beat a family out in Seattle, so if anybody's from Seattle, Indiana beat you. That's pretty sad. We did pretty good. Definitely did not run a stop sign. Stop saying that.
Tesla contract fine print. Must take wife to Ikea, and if you buy 7-seater, must have 3+ kids.
Yeah. Is that the same person about Ikea?
Boston.
Something about
know.
a Pop-Tart?
I don't
like,
know.
Okay.
This is Boston Mike.
Boston Mike.
Yeah.
Why
And
does everybody want to go to Ikea?
You didn't run. We went last weekend, so you didn't run the stop sign that Tesla did.
Nobody ran a stop sign. I'm just saying it didn't happen. I think you guys are imagining things. It's the quality issue of live streaming versus the nice camera setup that we have.
Yeah, and one of the benefits of getting an au pair is the cultural experience. Us gaining culture from her and her as well. So
yes, it's both ways. We will gain some awesome cultural experiences from her as well. Yes. We're very excited about it. And my understanding is the food is very similar to my personal preference, which is a little bit more bland, less exotic. So I think food's going to work out great.
Yes. What industry are we both in?
Well, for those of you that don't know, my wife is in healthcare, and we're very proud of her. She's been busting her A like all of you out there who are also in healthcare, and it has been a very difficult 1.5 years for all families in healthcare. There's no doubt about that. I am in manufacturing, and that's about all that matters about my job.
you didn't tell me about all the trouble you got in at the S launch, someone said.
What trouble did I get in at the S launch?
I don't know.
I don't know. What trouble did I get in? Oh, somebody's ratting me out? They're not a subscriber, I hope. Surely a subscriber wouldn't be ratting me out.
Yeah. How did you get a visa for our au pair?
So, because my wife is in healthcare, we don't have the visa yet. Her
Tuesday.
appointment's on Tuesday. So we don't technically have the appointment yet. But because my wife's in healthcare, she is one of 3 categories considered. Hey, Heather, can you look back there and see what's going on?
It's okay, buddy.
Is he out of his...
No, he's fine.
He's not out of his seatbelt?
Oh, Walt, are you out of your seatbelt, Bubby?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, no.
Yeah, so in healthcare, there's 3 categories that are considered critical and can get expedited status, emergency status for getting a visa. And fantastic news, because there's a bunch of people in this country that refuse to get the vaccine. They have been shipping millions of doses to our friends across the water and across the globe. So she actually just got her vaccine 3 weeks ago, and she got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So that was pretty cool. It's the same one that I got. All right, let's do some lane changes here. Better speed up. There's a semi behind us. All right.
Oh,
He's not happy. All right, I'll go a little bit faster. It's 55 miles an hour.
He flashed his lights.
Well, he can get over it. He's not happy with me. You're about to see Road Rage Live Edition, but
Oh,
I think
gosh.
the semi would win.
Yes.
I don't... Rule of thumb in situations like that, assess the volume of the vehicle. The size of the vehicle does matter. It's not about who's right and wrong. It's about who's got the bigger vehicle. Here he comes. I'm moving over. Let's get out of that so he doesn't run us over. That's kind of fun. That guy right there.
Okay.
He's not happy.
If you get a chance, let's hit a roundabout.
Hit a roundabout, yes. We can hit the one right off the exit on Olio.
Yep.
Yep, we'll hit a couple roundabouts. It is not, roundabouts do not work great on this version of full self-driving. Since we don't have the beta, it will not automatically drive through the roundabout, but I will show you exactly what it does.
Would you upgrade the suspension because it's too firm and turning is less confident?
Turning is very confident, but it is very firm. It's not like super firm. It's not incredibly bouncy, but it's not like a plush ride or anything. I would love to upgrade the suspension, but it's very, very expensive. And that's a lot of money. You can go down to 18-inch wheels and get a really fat tire and make up half of it for a lot less money.
That
I don't
truck
know.
driver is fine.
Huh?
That truck driver is fine.
Yes, he is.
What would you talk about how you overcame your range anxiety? How you don't worry about getting to a supercharger at 5%?
I have never had range anxiety in this car. Like, I remember the first time we drove, we started arriving at chargers at like 15% or something. And I think on that first trip is when I stopped. There you go, for all you IKEA people. We went to IKEA there. Accomplished. I did not have range anxiety, and I still don't. And the reason is because the supercharging network isn't just plentiful, but it's extremely reliable. And when a supercharger is out, the screen will tell you. So it does all the work for you. You don't have to worry about arriving and it not working. There was one time where a number of the stalls weren't working, but we were still able to charge, just had to wait a while. So that's only happened once.
Yeah.
We've never been stuck, ever.
Why are our boys so good?
Why are our boys so good?
Yeah.
That's because you're only seeing them when they're on film.
No, they're being wonderful.
They're being great today,
They're
though.
very
One of them's asleep, though.
Very conditioned to being in the car.
Yeah, this guy right here is asleep. He had a pretty active morning, so. Roll. rolling through the Ikea just like that stop sign.
Yes.
That stop sign did not happen. You guys are imagining things. All right. It wants us to change lanes left. That's really interesting. Why? There's nobody in front of us. It definitely wanted us to change lanes though, and our exit's in 3 miles on the right.
Surprised that you keep your battery on miles and not percent.
I do that because my wife likes to see it in miles. So during the week, she has the opportunity to drive the car whenever she wants, and that's how she likes it. Plus, for me, it's a mental thing. For most people, I recommend going to percent because seeing how many miles when you charge to the same level every day is going to drive you berserk.
Would you consider doing a meet and greet?
I would consider a meet and greet. I'm going to try to do one in Vegas on next week.
Yeah.
Not this coming, the following week while we're there. So the supercharger, the V3 behind the links, we will set some time aside to go to the V3 supercharger. So if you're in Vegas or around Vegas, you're welcome to come meet us out there.
Speaking of range, do you live in a state with winter climate? If so, what kind of range drop have you experienced in your last Model Y?
Oh yeah, winter climate for sure. It gets brutal cold here in Indiana. The heat pump does a decent job, but when it gets really, really cold, it doesn't matter if you have a heat pump or a resistive heater. Like -20, it doesn't matter. It's going to take a ton of energy to heat the car. So in normal winter conditions, like between 20 and 35 degrees outside, I'd say it's probably 30% loss of range is probably the right number.
How does it handle blind spot when lane changing?
Does great. We've already had a couple situations where somebody was in the way and it would not get over until they either backed off or they passed us. So it does a great job. I still wish there were indicators on the mirrors to show me when somebody's there so I don't turn on the turn signal when somebody's there. But yeah, it does a great job.
How do you get roadside assistance not as a primary driver / account?
It's in the app, so I'm not sure. It should be in the app. If you don't have access to the app, then you would just have to Google the 1-800 number. I'm sure there is one.
Do you still need to keep your hands on the wheel while using Navigate on Autopilot, just like Autopilot?
Yep. I have had to keep my hand on the wheel. I let it give me the notification once on this last stretch.
When you have multiple profiles, does the setting stick per user, miles per percentage, etc.?
Yes. Settings are per user. So I have my settings on here, and Heather has her own, but we have them the same right now because we haven't really messed with it too much yet. So it's, oh, geez. Wow, that was aggressive.
Oh, and we went over the white line.
That was way aggressive. Did you guys see that? That was sketchy. It just totally went for that exit hard. Oh my God. That was scary.
Not fun.
No, that was...
This person missed the beginning. Is the update over the air or Wi-Fi?
Over the air. And what was really cool, all right, so you just missed that. Let's see if it comes back up. It's telling me that in 100 feet or something, navigated on autopilot is over 200 feet. So there we go. So we're going to go this way anyways. And I just turned off autopilot altogether. So that's autopilot. I am going to turn autopilot on when we go through here because there's a roundabout right there at the bottom of this hill. So I'll show you what that's like. It does not navigate through this roundabout. So you will see.
Someone's asking about getting the Ford Lightning.
Yeah, I think it's a good looking truck. I would personally argue that the stats are not very good for the money, but Ford is just now kind of taking a big step into the space. So the future is going to look a lot better, I think. The Lightning that they announced is not the car that's going to win, in my opinion.
Do you think this feature is worth $200 a month?
Only if you have a highway in your commute and or you're doing road trips often. That's the only way this makes sense. All right, so I've got, hang on. There we go. Autopilot's on right before. So as you can see, it's going to stop as if it's a stop sign or a stoplight. It's just trying to figure out where exactly, and then I'm gonna hit this and it's gonna hit that curb. So we gotta go. It will not navigate this roundabout in the settings that we have. So once auto steer and full self-driving in city streets is available, then it will go through roundabouts. The beta users are able to go through roundabouts. It looks like it still has a little bit of work to go, but it does decent. Cancel our location here. I will go through one more roundabout on the other side of this hill just to show you with less traffic and less scary.
A lot of people want you to shave your beard off. What would it take?
It's not happening.
Would you donate your beard to a cancer survivor?
That's just weird. Nobody wants my beard. That's just weird.
Brian really wants to know what happens when you click the stop down 4 times. We all know it's the Rainbow Road.
Yes, it is. It's fun. All right, so roundabout, as you can see, coming to a stop again. This time, it lost it. So sorry, wanted it to work out, but it's just not confident about roundabouts. And there's a ton of them on the north side of Indianapolis, which I'm a big fan of. But yeah, it's not there for roundabouts yet.
If you get a flat, will the system pull you over automatically?
Not sure. Not sure. So we're in a very heavily, obviously, construction zone here, and the car does get a little bit nervous. It will not go the full speed. It kind of speeds up, slows down. It's not 100% confident. You can see it kind of changing speed a lot right now. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, and this is another area that it's got some work. And it could be because the lanes aren't clearly marked and it's not trying to stop at all. So I have to take over. These are some like real world examples of what this system is like. So hopefully this is helpful. I think a lot of people are going to probably have like an eye-opening moment when they realize it's not on city streets, because everything else is the same. So when I turn Autopilot on, this is exactly what you have today, what you're looking at right now. The only difference, if there's a stop sign up here at this intersection, it's going to come to that stop for me. That's the only thing that you'll notice on city streets that's different with full self-driving subscription. So if you're in the city a lot, that's the only thing you're adding, is stopping at stop signs and stoplights. Is that worth $200 a month? There's no way anybody can argue that's worth $200 a month. But we do highway quite a bit. So for us, we have a different equation.
People commented how when you're getting off the highway, it tends to slow down a little later than you would. So
yes,
it takes some getting used to.
It does take some getting used to that, and coming to a stop at a stop sign in traffic. It definitely doesn't start slowing down till later than I normally would as well. So that does take some getting used to.
Does Ford design and maintenance, like change hoses every 50K and fluids every 25K?
Does what?
It says, does Ford design and maintenance, like change hoses every...
Yeah, of course they do. All the manufacturers design parts to fail at a certain point in time, or they know when that's going to fail and they require that maintenance before that failure time is probably a better way to say that. I'm not saying they design cars to fail. That's not the right... I did not mean it like that.
Have you heard of delivery fees totaling $3,875 for home delivery? 1.25K transport Chicago Tesla to Missouri Tesla, and $750 from there to my home. Hoping I've shown mercy.
Oh my God, you paid $4,000 for delivery? Who charged you $4,000? That's insane. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's terrible. I feel bad for you.
Does lane keep assist only work when Autopilot is on, or does it work all the time like ICE cars?
Yeah, so now with the last update with a no radar car, it does have lane keep assist. So I'll show you. I will not turn on Autopilot and I will veer on this lane. Now we are on a country road, so it's not going to do a perfect job, but I'm sure I can get it to freak out on us. Let's see. Might not be going fast enough yet. Come on, give me the lines. Give me the lines. And that's a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you, car, for doing it right when I talked about it. Appreciate that.
someone said you lost a thought. You were saying about over-the-air updates.
Over the air. Oh, full self-driving subscription. You do not have to download anything. It was already in the car. Hang on, I'm trying to get it to go over the line. Yeah, it's not going to do anything on this country road. You do not have to wait for the car to download anything after you add subscription. I literally went to the car and it was already active. So once you pay for that subscription, just go to your car and click accept. Everything was already in the pack, ready to go.
Would you shave your beard if Heather said you could get a Plaid Model S for doing so?
Nope. I would not shave my beard if Heather said I could get a Plaid Model S for doing so.
Have you driven the Mach-E?
I have not. So funny story, we drove a Volkswagen ID4 this weekend, and I got it right before subscription launched, so I lost interest. But I was so disappointed in the ID4, which is too bad. I was so excited about the ID4 and less excited about the Mach-E. I have since changed my mind. I'm now more excited about the Mach-E than I was the ID4. So I am very excited to get my hands on a Mach-E to see how well that does.
Did you or are you adding the performance boost?
We did not add it. I doubt that Heather's going to let me do it again. That's a no, she just said. So no, I will not be getting the acceleration boost again. This is, I mean, I've got Autopilot on. Here you go. So you can see it's trying to figure out where the lane is. Look at this. This is some scary stuff right here. That's the stuff that I'm talking about where there's some gaps. I don't know if you could easily see the camera swaying side to side from the car doing that, but.
Do you think Tesla will ever release an enhanced Autopilot subscription cheaper than the full self-driving subscription?
I really believe they will release enhanced Autopilot subscription for half the price. I really think they will once they see the benefits of this full self-driving subscription and how much revenue they're able to recognize in real time. So I think that's where it's coming. Actually, I'm going to drive to our driveway. Let's not do that.
We have a need for speed.
What? They have a need for speed?
Well,
For real?
they said, dang it, Heather, we have a need for speed, because I said
Well, we
no.
can curb that right now.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah. Still so fun to drive this car.
Oh.
I love this car. So much fun.
So, this person stated that their Autopilot never changes lanes or gets off exits. Should I contact Tesla service, or is this just a normal bug?
Check your settings first, and I'm assuming you have full self-driving. Standard Autopilot does not do that. I think we are running low on battery just in case the live stream abruptly ends. But yeah, so you either don't have full self-driving or you have the settings turned off. Go into your Autopilot settings on the screen.
And is summon feature improved with car with no radar?
No, it is not improved. Summon feature is not improved with no radar.
And yes, they do have full self-driving, so.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
just
check your settings. Go into your settings, click the Autopilot tab, and that's where you should see the settings that you're going to need to mess with. All right, so I will try hard to make this roundabout work. All right, I just gave it the go-ahead. It's not happy. Nope, not going to happen.
Someone said that they have the Mach-E and it's terrible compared to the Volkswagen ID4. Just an FYI.
What?
That's
Compared to
what
the ID4? Okay, so let me be clear about ID4 was super comfortable. The ride quality was great. The space was good. You did not have a frunk or a sub-trunk, which was a big negative in my opinion. But what I could not get over, the user interface was terrible. I could not figure out how to do anything in that car. That car requires a education session with your salesperson, and that can vary in quality based on where you're at in the country, I would imagine. But I could not get over how terrible the user interface was. The inside, the look, the feel, the touch, it was a Volkswagen, and that's a very good thing. It felt very good and drove very good, but it was slow, and I could not figure out how to get what I wanted where I wanted it on the screen, and that was not fun.
When is Model 2 coming?
Model 2, hopefully we're going to have some announcements in 2021. My guess is one of these financial releases, or there's going to be an announcement at some point about Model 2 coming out of China and their design team there. I am of the opinion it's going to be a hatchback, 2 or 4-door, probably a 4-door, but a smaller hatchback, and it's going to be awesome. 4680 battery cells are what are going to make it possible.
Did you get to try full self-driving for exiting one highway and merging onto another highway? Or were you mostly getting off one highway onto regular streets?
Mostly getting off one highway onto regular streets is what we've done so far. Once we do a road trip, we'll be going from highway to highway. From what I've experienced so far, I don't see how it's going to have any issue. So far, I've only had one issue, and you guys saw it here live. That exit was very sketch. Actually, 2 issues. It also wanted me to get in the passing lane for no reason when we were exiting in 3 miles, so that was weird. But
when will we get the breakdown on the financial impact of the sale versus the purchase? No, you did well on the mileage.
for our last car, when will you know the financials of our transaction? So I have 2 videos for the next 2 Fridays, and I have not set the schedule for which one is which. But based on the constant feedback about, hey, how much did we sell for, blah, 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 I think we're going to have to make next Friday's video the sale of our last Model Y. So plan on Friday to be able to see how we did on the last Model Y. What I can tell you right now, haters aren't going to believe it. And you guys are going to be surprised. Now, keep in mind, before I set expectations too high, we had the highest mileage Model Y used on the market. So I can't ask 60 grand for the car. I needed to ask a reasonable price, and I got a reasonable price for that car. So
shout out to Amber Sproul. We went to high school with her.
Did you?
Yes. She hasn't been back to Fisher's in forever, so she didn't even know Fisher's had an Ikea. So shout out to Amber.
Shout out to Amber Sproul. We went to high school together. She was in your grade.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back home.
Yeah. Knowing your recent battery discovery on your Model Y, would you pull the trigger on a Model Y now or wait for the full 4680?
4680 is coming with Giga Austin, so you can see kind of this jumping around, fishing for lanes. 4680 is coming with Giga Austin. We know that now. What we don't know is if they're going to continue to build Model Ys in Fremont or not. And why that matters is the Giga Austin Model Y going to be a Model Y Long Range Plus? Is it going to be a completely new model? I don't know. There's too many unknowns, but I mean, you're not going to get your car anytime soon now because the delivery time's October now. So, I mean, what's it hurt to wait? You can put your order in and lock in prices and stuff, but if they do ultimately launch a new sub trim where it's like Long Range Plus, then you're kind of SOL anyways. So
do you still tow a travel trailer with your Model Y?
no, we towed a travel trailer 3 times with the Model Y, and all 3 times was the same experience. Regardless of speed, we could not get more than 100 miles of range, and that's not necessarily a terrible thing, but the problem is you have to charge to 100% to get another reasonable distance, and you're not guaranteed to have a charging spot that you can pull into. So sometimes you have to unhook to charge, and that gets old really, really quick. Not practical.
When do you think we'll get the magic full self-driving V9 beta button so the rest of us can experience the new full self-driving?
I really think that the button, quote unquote, is coming very soon, like maybe a month or 2. I really believe that. I think the beta program's going really well, so hopefully before summer is over we get it. And I'm just driving through a new neighborhood, but we're gonna bring this live stream here to a conclusion. I'll answer the rest of these questions, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me turn the camera around. I hope that you guys did enjoy this and that this was the kind of sneak peek you needed to see for yourselves. If you're thinking about adding the subscription model and what to expect, it's basically enhanced autopilot right now.
With lane change.
With lane change, but that's enhanced autopilot.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's basically that you're not getting any of the features that people who paid 10 grand for, they're also getting the same thing that you're doing that we just showed you. So I think Jack's still asleep. Look at that. I don't know how he sleeps like that.
Any advice on cleaning the white canvas in between the seats?
The white canvas in between the seats. That's a really good question. I've only heard of one remedy, and I have not tried it myself. But it's a carpet cleaner. One of those steam, or not steam cleaners, but I don't know how to explain it. But they're handheld carpet cleaners to get in between where that fabric is. So is that it? Is that all the questions?
Yeah. This poor guy ordered their Model Y in May and they're still waiting. Any intel on?
Yeah, it's such a. There's so many people who ordered in May that just missed out on the quarterly push. So I don't know when you guys are going to get your car. Hopefully soon. We got so lucky. We must have just ordered the right configuration. So, but I really hope that this was helpful. There's no other questions that they're waiting on me on. Okay. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. As always, thanks so much for joining us. I was sitting there thinking, I bet people really want to know what?
He wants a hug.
He wants a hug. I can't give you a hug over the phone, but I probably would if I could. So I hope that this was helpful. And here's the last thing I'm going to leave you with. For $200, you can give it a try and cancel it. So at minimum, my recommendation, even if you don't want to do it this month, just put $200 aside, and some month here in the near future, just spend the $200, try it for yourself, and see if it's worth it. If you are in a city like Chicago and you don't ever leave the city, don't waste your money. You're not going to get any value out of this. You've got to have a good amount of highway in your traditional driving for this to be worth it. So I think that's the right way to put it, at least for now. It is pretty slick, the stop sign and stoplight system. It works really well. I really like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks to the boys for being good on this trip. And yeah, so thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate you being here with us. I can't wait to get back to Florida. I see Fort Myers in the comments. I can't read the comment, but I can't wait to get back to Florida. We will be back very soon. We have a couple of potential trips to Florida this year still remaining, and we're going to try at some point here soon to get to Colorado. So we've got a lot of planning to do in the near future and some job balancing and stuff like that. So thanks again for joining us, everybody. I am on a 2 video a week schedule right now. So Tuesdays I'm launching kind of smaller videos, and Fridays are the normal videos that you're used to seeing. So I will see you guys here in a couple days with some fun accessories on Tuesday's video. Have a good evening. Stay safe out there. See you guys.